Hello and welcome everyone to symmetry series. In the last videos I have discussed about the symmetry elements of Platonic solids, what exactly are Platonic solids, how to identify the conjugates, and I also started with applications. Within these applications I have given one of the important applications where I related symmetry to dipole moment, and we can say whether the given molecule is polar or not. There is another important application of symmetry which is related to optical activity. Symmetry and optical activity. For dipole moment, there is a criteria. When I choose one symmetry element or group of symmetry elements that exchange all the opposite coordinates, we say the molecule is non-polar. In a similar way, do we have any criteria where I can relate symmetry to the optical activity? Let's discuss about it. Optical activity, it is the property to rotate plane polarized light either towards right or towards left. Now on that basis, suppose if I am choosing a molecule, just a molecule that has 4 different groups attached to carbon, then I call it as an asymmetric center. Why do we call it as an asymmetric center? Because there is no symmetry in it. As there is no symmetry in it, I call it as an asymmetric center, or we also call it as a chiral center, handedness, whether it will rotate towards right or it will rotate towards left. Therefore we say handedness or chirality. This is a chiral molecule. Now since it is a chiral molecule, it is able to rotate the plane polarized light. Based on this molecule, if I choose the criteria for optical activity to be molecules that have chiral centers are optically active. If this is the first criteria, just I have chosen some molecule based on that which is able to rotate the plane polarized light either towards right or left. I have just drawn a criteria saying that every molecule that has chiral center must be optically active. If this criteria is true, then let me choose one more molecule. I am choosing a mesotartaric acid. If presence of chiral center is the criteria for optical activity, then mesotartaric acid must be double active, right? There is nothing like double activity, but just I am exaggerating. This has to be double active because it has 2 chiral centers. But though it is having 2 chiral centers, what you find is mesotartaric acid is optically inactive. Since it is optically inactive, now the criteria that I have started from, saying that molecules that have chiral centers are optically active, must be changed a little. Then I change the criteria. Let me come to the another criteria. This molecule is found to be inactive because there is a plane that is producing an internal compensation where one half is a mirror image or the mirror reflection of the another half. If one half rotates to right, the another half will rotate to left. Finally it will not give any net rotation. So I am changing the criteria. Instead of saying that molecules having chiral center will be optically active, I am changing it to molecules that do not contain a plane are optically active. Since it contains a plane, therefore it is inactive. If the plane is absent, then the molecule will become optically active. That is what I am saying about the second criteria. So I have changed the criteria, I have done some modifications. Now let me choose these 2 criteria. I will give one more molecule and let us try to apply to that. This is a 1,2-dibromo 1,2-dichloro staggered ethane. This is the front carbon where it is attached to 4 groups, bromine, chlorine, hydrogen and the group. In the similar way, the rear carbon is also attached to 1, 2, 3 and a group. So altogether there are 4 substitutions. On that basis, it is having 2 chiral centers, one towards you and one away from you. So on the basis of first criteria, this has to be optically active because there are 2 chiral centers. No, if it is wrong, then I am going towards the second criteria. In second criteria it says molecules that do not contain a plane are optically active. Then forget about chiral centers, I am just looking at some plane. If I am trying to pass this plane, it is passing through the opposite bromines. Hydrogen and chlorine cannot exchange, so this plane is absent. Now let me pass this plane through chlorines, but bromine and hydrogen cannot exchange. Now let me pass this plane through hydrogens, bromine, chlorine cannot exchange. Or if I am passing a plane between the 2 carbons, then the plane is absent. I am trying to show the molecule. You can just take this to be the 1,2-dibromo 1,2-dichloro staggered ethane molecule. So anywhere if you try to pass a plane, you will not get mirror images. From anywhere you try to pass, you will not get mirror images. Since there are no mirror images, no planes, chiral centers are present, then I think it has to be optically active. But this is also found to be optically inactive. Now somewhere I am doing a mistake, right? What is that mistake? The first one, I thought the criteria could be having chiral centers. Then I have taken a second example. No, I changed my criteria. I said if there are no planes, then the molecule will be optically active. Then I have chosen a third molecule. In the third molecule there are chiral centers, good. There is no plane, very nice. But still it is found to be optically active. So why it is found to be optically active? When I check, then the molecule has inversion. Since the molecule has inversion, it is found to be optically inactive. So now let me change the criteria again. Molecules without inversion are optically active. Molecules without inversion are optically active. Right? Inversion means S2. S2 and inversion, they are just equivalent to one another. So which criteria should I go? If anybody asks me what is the criteria for optically active molecule or what is the criteria for optical activity, based on symmetry, I can give you just one sentence. You just forget about the presence of chiral centers, you just forget about the presence of planes, or you forget about presence or absence of inversion. You just try to remember one criteria, and that one criteria is absence of SN makes a molecule optically active. Just one sentence, absence of SN, that is enough. You need not bring the topic of inversion, you need not bring the topic of a separate plane, not just chiral centers, but simply one sentence. Absence of SN makes a molecule optically active. Can we apply it to this? Yes, we can. Do I find any SN in it? SN could be S1, S2, S3, anything. There is absolutely no SN in it. Since there is no SN, this is found to be optically active. This is active. This is found to be inactive because there is S1. S1 means C1 into sigma. Since there is a sigma, you call it as S1. As S1 is present, therefore it is optically inactive. Forget about a plane. That plane C1 is anyway present in every molecule, which is equivalent to identity. So C1 into sigma is S1. S1 is present, therefore it is optically inactive. No SN is present, therefore it is active. Coming to this, there is inversion. Inversion is equivalent to S2. Since inversion is equivalent to S2, and when S2 is present, this is becoming optically inactive. Absence of SN makes it active, but presence of SN makes a molecule optically inactive. A very, very strong criteria to understand any optically active molecule. Then you study all the point groups, because this has to be useful for your any competitive examination purposes. If I move towards symmetry and dipole moment, in that I have discussed saying that any molecule that belong to C1, Cn, Cs, Cnv and C infinity V molecules will have some polarity. In a similar way, if I discuss all the point groups, there are just 2 point groups where the molecules are optically active. These 2 point groups are, one is Cn and the another one is Dn. There are only 2 point groups where every molecule will be optically active. One point group is Cn, the another point group is Dn. And these 2 point groups are purely rotational point groups. These are purely rotational point groups. You only have proper axis in this. For Dn you have proper axis along with the perpendicular C2s, not anything else. Any molecule Cn, when I say, it could be C1 and then greater than 1. So all these will be optically active. Dn, I can start with D2, or when I say C1, C1 is called as asymmetric point group. C1 is called asymmetric point group. The remaining are called dissymmetric point group. Asymmetric point group, asymmetric means there is no symmetry element, but dissymmetric means very less number of symmetry elements. Dis, anything that is disturbed. Dissymmetric means less number of symmetry elements, and that element is rotation. It could be C2, it could be C3, C4, or it could be D2, D3, D4 and so on. Okay. Final conclusion, any molecule that belong to Cn or Dn will be optically active. Every molecule that belong to C1 point group are called as asymmetric molecules, and every molecule that belong to C2, C3 and so on and Dn type are called as dissymmetric molecules. And the criteria to be remembered is absence of Sn makes a molecule optically active. Thank you.